It's kind of like a maze that you want people just to go deeper and deeper and deeper into your content. And they can't do that if you're not telling them about all the other content that's out there.
Welcome back to Duo On Air. I'm Abby.
And I'm Courtney.
And we're the X agency turned entrepreneurial team that puts the Duo in Duo Collective. Our boutique organic marketing agency specializes in SEO, social media strategy, and branding.
We're an everyday pair of business besties / marketing experts obsessed with helping our community learn more about what it takes to run a business.
Which is why on Duo On Air, we're not holding anything back. We're giving you all the info we know about how to grow your business organically so you can be the confident CEO you were made to be.
And how to navigate life as a small business owner.
Whether it's on your own or with your best friend by your side, so grab your coffee
or your mimosa, we don't judge,
and settle in for a quick value-packed episode of Marketing Tips.
Welcome back to the Duo On Air podcast. This is episode number 144, and I have a feeling you're going to like this episode a lot. I am going to share 10 SEO boosting tips that you can do in less than 10 minutes a day. SEO has this reputation for being extremely hard, time-consuming, jargon-filled, and you already know if you're here tuning in that we are always looking to bust this myth. Especially since the doors to SEO on Tap, our DIY SEO course, are opening next week. So if you aren't already on our waitlist, aren't already a student of ours inside the course, go to duocollective.com/SEO on Tap, and you can hear more about how you can DIY your site. But today, I wanted to share some quick tips here on the podcast. And before I jump into these, if you aren't already on that wait list and already on our email list, we have an email newsletter dedicated to this topic specifically. It's called the SEO Squeeze, and each week we share a quick, actionable SEO tip that's going to help you boost your rankings on Google. So whether you're someone who just takes these tips, file them away for a rainy day to spend a whole day on your website, I know I am definitely guilty of that, or whether you are someone that takes action right away, these are tips that come into your inbox every Friday. Mostly every Friday, I should say. There have been a few crazy weeks that we've missed and given you some special weekend updates. But almost every Friday, you are going to get that quick tip to boost your rankings that you can take action right away. And Fridays are a great day to do that, right? Because we're kind of tapped out in the week. So let's go ahead and bring some of these tips to the podcast. So let's jump into your 10 quick 10-minute SEO wins. And let's see if I can do it in 10 minutes on this episode. I doubt it, but we'll try. So number one is setting up your Google Search Console or reviewing your content on there, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So I've talked about Google Search Console all the time, and this is my biggest SEO tip that you absolutely need to have, because this tool lets you know if your content is even on Google to begin with. So you can finesse your website all day long, but if Google doesn't know about your website, it doesn't matter because Google's never going to find it. And that's where Google Search Console comes in. This is a completely different tool than Google Analytics and Google My Business. So there are 3 different tools that we talk about all the time. But this one is specifically for Google search. So go Google Search Console, log in under whatever business email address you think you might have logged in under, and go check out to see if you have that. If you don't, it takes you 10 minutes or less to connect your domain and start to see traffic and if your content is actually working for you. And if you do have this tool, pop in there and check it out. Review your content, review the pages that are indexed. Make sure that all the pages you want to be indexed are indexed. You can quickly type them into the URL above, the URL space above, click enter, and then you will see whether your content is on Google or not. So that is your quick first tip. Set up Google Search Console or pop in there and see what's going on, especially if you haven't looked in a few months. Number 2 is optimize your SEO titles. That blue clickable link that you see on a Google search page, that is called an SEO title. And it is one of the strongest ties to the keywords that Google is going to index you for. You have one of these for every single page of your website. So every page that you want Google to know about, you should have strategically filled out an SEO title that has keywords in it so that people can find you. Number 3, optimize an old blog post. This is the season right now. We're in Q4. We are talking about the holidays. You likely have content that might be speaking to this season for your audience. Go back and look at the content you've written in this time frame the last few years and see if any of them need an update. A good example for us is we have a post that supports small businesses online for Shop Small Business Saturday. And this is a post that every single year we update and make sure that all of those businesses are still there, their links are working. Who else can we add to this? And how can we just make this article really strong? It drives a ton of traffic to our website. It supports our mission of helping other small business owners and building community. And so it's a post that we feel really strongly about that needs to be updated frequently, and it performs really well for us in Google and on search engines. So number 4, I want you to compress an image or a video that's above the fold on your website. So whatever is in view, and I want you to look on both mobile and desktop, and I want you to see if you can compress that image. So go to a tool like TinyJPEG or Compress PNG. Go ahead and compress the image and then re-upload it to your website to see if that helps anything in terms of page speed. Another big issue that I see for images that are above the fold or that you can see right away when your website loads is that these images could be lazily loaded, which basically means that your website is loading them super slow. If this is a thing, I would remove that. And you can find all of this out to see if that is a thing at Google Page Speed Insights. So just Google that, enter in your website, and crawl it. So I want you to think about each page of your website. What image and video do you have above the fold? Is that compressed? And is that set up for the best success for page speed so that your page can load really fast? Number 5, add internal links to your newest blogs. So this could be newest blogs or oldest blogs, honestly. So I want you to take a piece of content and see if you have your newest blogs in there, linked in there. So think about your blog as this massive spider web. Everything should connect to everything. People should be getting super ingrained in your website. It's kind of like a maze that you want people just to go deeper and deeper and deeper into your content. And they can't do that if you're not telling them about all the other content that's out there. So say your most popular blog that people are finding on Google doesn't have any links to the recent blogs that you've written or other blogs that you've updated or any blogs altogether. You want to make sure that you have linked all of your content so that you've created this massive spider web of content that people can start diving into regardless of where you found you. So go ahead and peek at a couple of your newest blogs or a couple of your best performing blogs and see what internal links you have in there. And if you can update them, add some, just make sure that they're all relevant to that post. Number 6, update your heading tags. So heading tags are the back end tags on your headlines. So everyone thinks of these from a design perspective. Heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. You've likely seen this when you've gone in to edit your website. And lots of times we think heading 1 is really big. Heading 2 is a little bit smaller. Heading 3 is a script font. Heading 4 is bold. And because of that, you just choose a tag that looks really good and designed with your website. Well, that isn't the case for Google. Google looks at these tags as what is the most important thing on my website. So heading 1 is the most important thing on your website. It should use keywords. It should be above the fold. It should be at the top of your website, and it's typically the biggest. So make sure that you have one heading 1 tag on each page of your website and no more. So you'll have heading 2, heading 3, all of those lower throughout the rest of your website as well. So make sure that you peek at that, and you might need to tweak your design settings if it's not working for you. I have worked on a lot of websites where I've seen people not use heading 1 tag because it's too big. So now you've just missed out on an opportunity to tell Google what the most important thing on your website is. One of my favorite tools to check and see what the heading tags are, if you don't know, is a Chrome extension called Headings Map. And you can quickly use that to see what the heading tags are on your website and anyone's website. So if you want to peek at your competitors, you can go peek on them through that tool as well. Number 7, rewrite your homepage headline to add in a strong keyword. So this goes along with number 6. If you have not thought about H1 tags and you need to refine your H1 tag for your homepage, I want you to add in a strong keyword. What is it that you do? What is the core of your industry, of your offering? What is that word that people are searching for to help them find you? And make sure that that is in your H1 headline on the homepage of your website. And if you don't know what your audience is using to search for you, ask. Put out a little question box, ask, and see what people say. And that is a perfect place to start. And then you bot back to number 1 and you go crawl your website through Google Search Console again so that Google can get that keyword indexed in their big file cabinet. Number 8, add an FAQ section to your homepage. So this actually, whether it's your homepage, your contact page, your about page, your service page, FAQ sections are my favorite thing to add to increase word count, to add very highly searchable questions that people are wondering about, to link to blogs, to give them answers in a more longer form content way. FAQs are an amazing resource that not only engage your audience that's already on you, but help Google understand more about you. So consider, what are the questions that people are asking you all the time? 1, can you write a blog post on it? And 2, can you simply answer it in an FAQ section and link that on your website? Number 9, clean up your URL slugs. So take a peek at the slugs on your website. This is after the .com. So .com / what comes after that. I want you to go take a peek at that for your blog structures, for your pages. Do you have a random 1 in there or 2 in there because you duplicated a page here or there and forgot to update that URL slug? Do your blog posts include dates? You don't actually need the dates in there. So typically we like to remove those because remember, when we think back to the tip that I just mentioned in number 3, to optimize an old blog post. So we want to make sure that people don't look at that date of when it's first published and think this is outdated content if you're updating it regularly. We want them to know that all the content on our website is up to date. You don't need a date in there to tell people when you've last written it. So cleaning up your URL slugs to make them super clean, easy to read are a really important thing, not only for Google to understand, but your audience to really resonate with your content. And number 10, claim your Google business profile. So again, this is different than setting up your Google Search Console. This is how you are going to show up in Maps. So Google Business is what you can search. You'll build a profile that verifies your address. I get this question a lot. People are curious if they have to show their address, and you don't. You do need to use your address to claim your profile so that you are the one person at your location and Google can verify that you're real and it's not spam and it's not your competitor trying to build a crappy business profile with a bunch of negative reviews for you. So this is important, to use your address to claim your profile, but then you can go in and hide it, and then you can choose an area. Another huge mistake I see with Google business profiles is that people choose the entire United States or the entire country or the entire world as their audience. And when you do that, you're competing with people all over the globe. This is truly meant to be a local tool. So use it for your local audience. Choose a smaller radius where you can show up and compete on a better stance with other competitors. And remember that even if you can work with people anywhere, you can mention that in your description, but this tool is really going to help you rank for local audiences. And just like us, we work with people all over the globe. However, I am never going to turn down a client who is right down the road that I can meet at a coffee shop with. That sounds incredible and amazing. And we do that multiple times, and people can find us that way through our Google Business profile. So make sure that you've claimed this profile regardless of whether you are specific to local or not. This can be really good. Just make sure that it's very clear that you are using this tool for local purposes. Otherwise, you could get denied if you're trying to use this tool to reach the whole world. Google is going to be like, no, this is just for local businesses. So there you have it. I went a few minutes over. 10 quick 10-minute SEO wins. And if you click on the show notes, you're going to get a whole lot more than 10. So we have 30 plus tips that are detailed out in there, and we're not done there. You can go to our SEO Squeeze email newsletter and get these tips sent to your inbox every single week so that you're not biting off too much at one time, and you're making these small updates as you go so that your website can rank higher in search. We are so excited because we love seeing the performance, the changes in your website, and how all of this comes together, because this truly does make a huge difference if you set aside these 10 minutes to make the update. So do yourself a favor, get on that email list, set aside that time every Friday to do these 10-minute wins with us, and you're going to be set up for success going into next year.
If you like this episode, please be sure to share it with a friend and subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes dropping every Monday. Plus, if you haven't already, please go ahead and leave us a review, and don't hesitate to share any new episode ideas. We absolutely love hearing from you and creating this content for you. See you next week.